Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Miranda Beckman, and I have had the honor again to be this month's class supervisor. I would like to introduce the graduating class of March 2019. From Bristol, Connecticut, we have Mel Dombrowski with Guide Dog Dooley. From Silver Springs, Maryland, we have Terry Nettles with Guide Dog Olson. From Herndon, Virginia, we have Carol Edwards with Guide Dog Betty. From Morristown, New Jersey, we have Elsa Shunason Henry and her guide dog Pax. From Honolulu, Hawaii, we have Bonnie Robb with guide dog Shirley. From Bradford, Massachusetts, we have Rochelle Brothers with guide dog Yates. From Bronx, New York, Lydia Quick with guide dog Jeffrey. From Fort Smith, Arkansas, we have Lisa Towns with guide dog Travis. From Foxborough, Massachusetts, we have Brian Connors with guide dog Yukon. From Sacramento, California, we have Walt Hedinga with guide dog Midas. And from Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada, we have Lori Lacroix with guide dog Nikita. I would also like to acknowledge from South Salem, New York, Thomas Panic with guide dog Wesley. And also a special situation in this class, we had a young lady who was still in school and she had to return home for exams. So I'd also like to acknowledge Hale Skoglund with guide dog Marley, and they are already back in Spring Hill, Florida. This month, we had 3 home trainings, one of whom you see before you, Mel. We also had Sandra Furtado with Valida from Fall River, Massachusetts, trained by Chrissy Vetrano. And Donna McClure, trained with guide dog Curtis in Taneytown, Maryland, trained by Nikki Wentz. And Mel Dombrowski was trained with Dooley by Kathy Rooney, one of our field representatives, who's also with us today. Guiding Eyes has several different programs in which we can match our wonderful dogs with these incredible clients. These are folks that work hard every single day to get out, be independent, and maintain their independence and independent travel. So we have our residential program that you see here. We also have our home training program where we usually bring a dog to a person in their home area because for one reason or another, they cannot come to our facility for the entirety of the 3-week period. We also have a combination of partial residential program and a little bit of time in their home area. We call that our action program. And this month we have 2 action graduates, Bonnie and Carol. And they worked with Stephanie Corrett, who is one of our senior instructor staff. At this point in the program, I would like to introduce the first of our 3 graduate speakers, Terry Nettles.
Food always works. Good afternoon to all who are in attendance, both here as well as via the live stream. I have had guide dogs for 40 years from Guiding Eyes. And Olson is my sixth Guiding Eyes dog. I'm so proud to be a graduate of Guiding Eyes for the Blind. We'd like to thank the puppy raisers. He's young. Volunteers and wonderful caring staff for these amazing dogs. In the February class of 2010, I wrote a song and sang it to the tune of Harper Valley PTA. Some of you may have heard that. I've made it into a poem titled, "This is My Destiny," and it is from the perspective of the guide dog. Okay? I want to tell you all a story about the guide dog and how it all began. It started out in Patterson. To be a working dog, it was their plan. They breed black labs, yellow labs, and German shepherds too, with volunteers who hold and pet and give us lots of love. Oh, yes, they do. After passing all the evals, we're going to Raisers where we'll live, learning manners and some commands, reward with treats to reinforce the positive. Then we go to class each week to learn some more. We even get to socialize. We run and play with other pups, and you will notice that there's one of every size. Well, the day has come. It's time to leave, and I'm going to GEB, where I'll be trained to be a guide dog. Oh, yes, this is my destiny. And I never will forget you, your voice, your eyes, your gentle touch. I'll wag my tail for you and lick your face and say, I thank you very much. Now I'm singing in the kennel choir. Our notes are perfect. Our voices never crack. Just then, a trainer comes up to me and puts a leather harness on my back. I've learned forward, hop up, steady, left, and even right. And I must always stop at curbs and never cross against the light. Now the time has come for me to go inside and meet someone who is blind. They call my name, I come running, I jump up, and somehow they don't mind. There's country walks and crossing streets and going into New York City too. Revolving doors and escalators and barriers that we cannot walk through. Now it's graduation day. My ears are perked. My nose is twitching as I sniff the air. Something familiar comes into my mind, and I see that you are there. I'm sitting here so patiently waiting for this thing to end. I can't believe the day has finally come for me to see my old friend. When the program is all over and I get to greet you, oh yes, you'll see that I've become the very best guide dog. Oh yes, this is my destiny. Thank you very much.
Our second graduate speaker is Elsa Shunison Henry.
Perfect. Good afternoon, and welcome to the graduation of the March 2019 class. Before I get started, I'd like to thank everyone at Guiding Eyes, from the puppy raisers, the volunteers, the kennel workers, the admissions, and hang on, Staples. We're just going to stand on that leash. The administrative staff, kitchen staff, and of course, the trainers. I would especially like to thank the women who taught us to stand proud and tall with our dogs at our sides. Miranda, Michelle, Catherine, Stephanie, and Amy. Thank you so much. My name, as you know, is Elsa Shunnason Henry, and I have been partially deafblind since birth. For a long time, I thought that because I have some usable vision, I wouldn't qualify for a guide dog. For a long time, I thought that a white cane was all I needed to get around. But I started getting tired. I started not wanting to do things because of the effort involved in navigating the world by myself. So I decided it was time to get a guide dog. Because, as Helen Keller, deafblind activist, once said, walking with a friend in the dark is better than walking alone in the light. Enter Pax, stage right. My new friend in the dark. Pax wants to go everywhere with me. When I pick up the harness, he waggles and wiggles, which only makes it harder to get it on him. But if you're a guide dog handler or have anything at all to do with these dogs, you know that they open doors, not literally, but figuratively. With these dogs at our sides, we can go anywhere, even to places that were previously closed. We can hold our heads high and our shoulders back. We can just go. I'm so excited to share my life with Pax, cruising down the streets of Manhattan, giving talks on disability and fiction, going on dates with my husband, visiting my family in Seattle, and he'll be there guiding the way. If you'll forgive the science fiction reference, Pax and all of these dogs will allow us to boldly go where we have never gone before. But it's true. They'll allow us to go there with confidence and a partner to ease our way. In closing, I'd like you to look not just at these utterly adorable Labradors, but at each blind person that you see sitting here. I'd like you to know that every person here with a dog has worked incredibly hard to be here, has worked incredibly hard over the last 3 weeks, and we have learned so much from the dogs and from Guiding Eyes. Thank you to our instructors, our families, the staff here, and thank you to the dogs for our freedom.
Whew. And our third graduate speaker is my honor to introduce Thomas Panic with his guide dog, Wesley.
I remember Clifford, the big red dog. I think I have Clifford, the big black dog, right? Welcome to Guiding Eyes, and classmates, thank you so much, Terry and Elsa, for those words. I'm going to build a little bit on what Elsa said. I have a lot of people to thank, and I'm standing up here as a student. I'm taking off the president hat, so my board of directors can't hold me accountable for anything I say today. First and foremost, it takes teamwork to get this done, and I'd like to recognize a couple of people on the team that have made an extraordinary contribution to not only this class, but to every class from Guiding Eyes for the Blind. A couple of acknowledgments. The slideshow that you saw beautifully presented and narrated was done by Michelle Meunier. Michelle, please stand up for a warm round of applause. Thank you so much. If you've been following social media for Guiding Eyes and sharing some of those pictures on Puppy Day with Zoe Bennett, Zoe, thank you so much for doing all of our social media. You've had a busy week. Thank you so much. Somebody had to train this beautiful beast next to me. Catherine Russell, thank you for taking him from the time that he came in to the time that he's standing by my side today. I really appreciate that. Gerald helped out as well. Thank you, Catherine. And class is a lot of times not like dogs, but like herding cats, myself included. I really appreciate you welcoming me into your class. It's been a lot of fun, and that's been led by our incredible leader, Miranda Beckman. Thank you so much, Miranda, for all you've done. Miranda truly inspired me and reminded me about what you trainers do every day, you know, whether it's 6 a.m. park time or getting us through the city and making sure that we were all where we needed to be, safe and with our guide dogs. So it really is a team effort. I did something that I didn't think I'd ever do. You know, when I was a boy, the stars started to disappear in the night sky, and it was really hard to lose your vision, to go blind. It's not easy. It's one of our greatest fears in humanity. But one day a great gift was given to me. I got a guide dog, and my whole life changed. At that point, I was able to have the confidence to go up to a girl and ask her out on a date. That girl is here today, 25 years later, my wife, Melissa. Along the way, 4 children joined us. Madeline, my daughter, Troy, TJ, and Timothy are with us as well back there, living every day with not only my beautiful guide dogs, but also supporting this organization. They actually home socialized Yukon here when he was just a little puppy. So thank you for that contribution, children. To boldly go where no one has gone before. When I got my first guide dog, I was 26 years old, and I wanted to go to the mall. And back then, I was at another school that will remain unnamed. I wasn't able to even step out my door and go through the mall alone. And Saturday, I had a team that allowed me to do something that has never been done before. I took this beautiful dog to my left that was so well raised and loved, from the moment that he was born in the Canine Development Center to the moment he went home with his family. And I ran freely, by myself alone, 5 miles through the streets of New York, where I picked up his sister, Waffles. Waffle is like a spring, a beautiful, elite yellow Labrador that every time I saw her made sure that her nose touched mine, and I am 6 feet tall. I held on for dear life, and she took me through over the Manhattan Bridge. Every step that I took, she watched me and made sure that if my shoe scuffed the pavement for even a moment, I could feel her head turning back to make sure I was okay. She wanted to finish the race, but I had one more dog to put in there to make sure that he got the honor that he deserved. And that was my retiring Guiding Eyes dog, Gus, that was raised by Cindy Tate. Gus took me through the rest of the race through Central Park, making sure that I went around all of the potholes and cones and crowds. And as we ran along the FDR, I wasn't worried at all about Gus weaving into the wrong lane. I was worried about the drivers in the oncoming lane weaving into ours. I felt safer than I have ever felt safe before, even though we were sprinting through a very busy city. I'm reminded about the capabilities of our dogs and how incredible our community is. But I couldn't have done any of that without the support of our donors who support this school every day. Kimberly Benson is here today with her mom, working hard every day to make sure that we have the support to be able to take these big adventures, no matter how big or small. And when I crossed that finish line, I had to say that was Gus's last moment as a working guide, having taken care of me every step from the moment that I woke up until the moment that I went to bed. Every step that I took as a person who was blind, and here he was, retiring and becoming a pet. I'll tell you one thing about Gus that you probably don't all know. We won't readily forget him, primarily because that's him on the logo right there. Thank you so much, everybody, for making this possible. It's a community that comes together. From the people that start with the puppies, Betsy's here as well in the Canine Development Center, Ellen, who helps with the volunteers, Caitlin, who helps everybody in this room, has made a significant difference in making today's possible. I'd like to give you all a medal. I really would. But today, I'm only going to give one family a medal because they deserve it, because their dog earned a medal. If the Shannon, the Dubé family could please come up here for a second, I'd like to give you this gift.
Right in front of you, kneeling down. Awesome, thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you to all the graduate speakers. I wanted to just take a moment, really, and to address the group that's here, as well as the folks that are at home and they're with us via YouTube. Guiding Eyes is a tremendously special place, a place I've never experienced anywhere else in my life. Every person that touches the organization touches every part of the organization as a whole. Those people who volunteer their time and their energy and their love for the dogs, for the students, for the support and the aftercare of the organization, it is felt all the way through. It's a ripple effect. Those of you who work long hours behind the scenes, making sure that every part of the organization functions as it should. You're incredible, and it's felt. The love that we feel when we're in class and working with the men and women you see before you, we can do our job as well as we do because of the support, because of all the efforts that go in from every aspect of the organization, seen and unseen. This month, our graduation sponsors are a group from Cornell University. Their message to the graduates is, congratulations to all the graduates. We wish you all the best in your new life with your four-legged partners, Guiding Eyes at Cornell University. And we have 9 members of that organization here today. Could you guys maybe stand up for us? And as I understand it, this group has raised a total of 23 dogs since 2011? That's incredible. One of the dogs that is graduating today, Betty, was raised by the Cornell group. Thank you so much. Betty is also one of our special name dogs. And she was named for a beloved staff member, Betty Guadagno, and Betty's husband, Sal, is with us here today. We're so glad to see you, Sal. We're thinking of you. We love you, and we love Betty. Thank you for joining us. Just a note about Betty. Her office was right downstairs from my office, and occasionally I would get reminded that the volume needed to come down. Betty was definitely one of those people who was so warm and loving, but I never ever wanted to be on her bad side. Nor do I ever think I was. She was an amazing person, and we're so glad to have had her in our organization. Okay. Merriam-Webster defines a milestone as a stone serving as a milepost marker or a significant point in development. I think so many people hit so many milestones because of this organization. So many people come out of their comfort zone for a greater good, for a greater cause. I think if we used each milestone, that everyone who touches this organization, if that were to really represent a mile, I think we could go to the moon and back with that. There's so many incredible people, so many people in front of you here today, and a milestone can represent everything from leaving one's front door and traveling independently to taking a puppy into your home, to returning that puppy to Guiding Eyes, to giving your first class lecture, or emceeing graduation without the usual class speakers. It's just been an honor to be a part of this, and I'm so glad to share this all with everyone. So thank you. I always like to give a little shout out to our alumni who come back for graduations. This month, we have Becky Davidson with her guide dog Lawson. Welcome back, Becky. As well as dear sweet Lisa Cantwell with her guide dog Louie. Glad you made it in, Lisa. Okay. And a very special part of the program for me is taking a moment to address the instructors. These ladies have worked tirelessly for the last 5 months getting these dogs ready, bringing them to all the different training areas, catching me up to speed on what I needed to know about each dog. And every day, this class, they gave me their all. There was never, I don't feel like it, or no, you do it. They've been extremely supportive of me, of the students, of the dogs. So I just want to take a quick moment to acknowledge Michelle Tang, Stephanie Corrett, Catherine Russell, Amy Sander, Nick Speranza, our running guide specialist who worked with Tom and the running guides team. Thank you so much. It's an honor to work with you all every day. Okay, now, for this part of the presentation, I'd like to invite Caitlin Landry, who's one of our regional managers for the puppy program, up to the podium.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Guiding Eyes for the Blind Canine Development Center, I'd like to extend our sincere and heartfelt congratulations to the March graduating class. It is a privilege to be here to share this day with all of you. I'd like to start out by thanking our team of over 1,400 dedicated volunteers, our generous donors, and our dedicated staff who make the journey of a Guiding Eyes dog possible. From our brood stud foster families, our early socializers, our home socializers, home litter care families, puppy sitters, region coordinators, kennel and administrative volunteers, both in Yorktown and in Patterson, our tour leaders, and our ambassadors, it truly takes a village to raise a puppy. And finally, thank you to our puppy raisers who give the ultimate gift of raising a potential guide dog. I'd like to ask every person in the room who volunteers for Guiding Eyes to please stand at this time. Thank you to each and every one of you. And now, for the moment you've all been sitting on your seats for, I'd like to present our puppy raisers with their certificates and photos. When I call your name, please have one member of your puppy raising family come up to accept their certificate and photo. All right. First. Somebody's stealing the thunder, it seems. All right. First, we'd like to start with Gabriella Bonifiglio, who raised Guiding Eyes Jeffrey from the Eastern Connecticut Puppy Raising Region. And next, Rachel McQuay, who raised Guiding Eyes Jeffrey from Eastern Connecticut. Next is Leanne Leverone, who raised Guiding Eyes Marley from the Maine Puppy Raising Region. She could not be here with us today. Also for Marley, Christina Strube from the Maine Puppy Raising Region. She could not be here with us today. Next is John and Nancy Mashmeyer from the Catoctin Puppy Raising Region, raisers of Midas. Next is Mike and Linda Williams from the Delmarva region, raisers of Guiding Eyes Nikita. We have Mike and Sharon Walker from Erie, New York, raisers of Guiding Eyes Olson. Jim and Luann Harmison from North Carolina, raisers of Guiding Eyes Pax. They could not be here with us today. Katie LeBlue from Eastern Connecticut, raiser of Guiding Eyes Travis. Shannon Dubé from Finger Lakes, New York, raisers of Guiding Eyes Wesley. Dr. Alicia Gonzalez and Mr. Gregory Martin from the Maine region, raisers of Guiding Eyes Yates. Carolyn Lorber from Finger Lakes, New York, raisers of Guiding Eyes Yukon. Isabella Alexandra Esposito from Lower Westchester, raiser of Guiding Eyes Betty. Peggy Morey from Delmarva, raiser of Guiding Eyes Shirley. Next, we have the Genet family from Southwest Connecticut, raiser of Guiding Eyes Curtis. They could not be here with us today. And the Newman family from Cleveland West, raiser of Guiding Eyes Julie. And also for Julie Jean Dragala, this is puppy number 26 for her from Cleveland. Kim and Ken Delphing from Cleveland West, raiser of Guiding Eyes Valita. They could not be here with us today. And also for Valita Maureen Hollis, who's one of our regional managers, raiser of Guiding Eyes Valita. She could not be here with us today. Thank you, everyone. All right, so from small beginnings come great things. I'd like to introduce you to two future guide dogs, Floss and Crumpet. If you know anyone who would like to meet Floss and Crumpet or become of our Guiding Eyes family, please don't hesitate to send them our way. These puppies will be available for autographs at the end of graduation. If you go out the hall to the left and down to the groom room, I'm sure you will hear them rustling down there, and they are anxious to meet you. Thank you, guys. It's kind of hard to follow those two, but I would like to leave you with a quote. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. Helen Keller. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. It's time for our presentation to the graduates. It gives me such great honor and wonderful pleasure to announce the graduating class of March 2019. Please help me in congratulating the class, starting with Mel and Dooley. Congratulations. Carol and Betty. Bonnie and Shirley. Lydia and Jeffrey. Brian and Yukon. Thomas and Wesley. Terry and Olson. Elsa and Pax. Rochelle and Yates. Lisa and Travis. Walt and Midas. Lori and Nikita. And of course, at home, Hale and Marley. Whew. Okay. Lastly, we have our announcements and closing remarks. Becky, if I forget anything, you got to shout it out, okay? First of all, Amy Sander. Amy, if you could stand up. She's been our incredible class IA this entire month. She will be giving a kennel tour in roughly about a half hour's time. She'll be giving a kennel tour in roughly about a half hour's time. In the meantime, we would like to invite our puppy raisers to come up, introduce themselves to the graduates. Feel free to socialize and mingle. We can head to our lobby area, the coffee room, or where we're going to have some refreshments at Rosie's Cafe upstairs in our new dining area. All right. Thank you again so much for joining us on such a special day. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all. Have a good afternoon.